Disrupting the somber atmosphere of the funeral, I received a hateful email from my sister-in-law on my phone. "I asked you to take care of the credit card payment. We're family. So it's all good, right?" After stealing my credit card, she's been recklessly using it on trips with her affair partner. She's oblivious to everything, unaware of her current situation. "Hey, sister-in-law, you're wanted by the police." "Huh? You're kidding, right?" "I don't believe that." She dismissively laughs, but I'll calmly enlighten her with the truth. "Ha ha ha. I'll make you regret what you've done, for sure." My name is Eliza. I'm 32 years old. I envisioned a tranquil married life like a serene lake. My husband Alex, 3 years my senior, was charming like a protagonist in a movie. We met at work, where he was always surrounded by people, earning respect with his sincerity and dedication. At home, he was my sunshine, always warmly supporting me with a gentle heart that prioritized family. As my husband, he understood the depths of my heart, sharing joys and sorrows, demonstrating a strong determination to overcome challenges together. His smile was like a beacon illuminating my world. And his parents were also a warm family to me. Having lost my father at a young age and with my mother enduring a long battle with illness, my in-laws were like true parents to me. Becoming a part of their family brought me immense joy, and I was willing to spare no effort for them. Amidst this blissful married life, there was one ominous presence: my sister-in-law. While our household maintained a perfect harmony between my husband and his parents, my sister-in-law was a different story. She didn't hide her hostility towards me from the day of our wedding. Her harassment became a part of my daily life, casting a shadow over my heart. My sister-in-law resembled a model in a flashy fashion show, always flaunting the latest brand bags. "Look at this. It's the new Louis Vuitton. Isn't it cute?" She'd boast. Then she'd turn to me, dripping with superiority, asking, "What brand do you like?" Her words always seemed to belittle me. "You've never received a gift from a guy? Seriously? That's unbelievable." She'd ridicule my experiences. Her insidious actions gradually ate away at my peace of mind. Initially, I thought her animosity stemmed from jealousy of stealing her brother away. But the truth ran deeper. She looked down on my ordinariness. As a wife to her high-achieving brother, my existence must have been intolerable to her. Even my lack of romantic experiences became a subject of her mockery. Recently, it's been a hassle being approached by someone I don't even like. Haven't you had that experience? Maybe it's just a waste of time asking you. She'd taunt me. Yet, her harassment escalated day by day, and my tranquil days turned into ones haunted by her shadow. The monthly family dinners hosted by my in-laws meant to strengthen family bonds, became battlegrounds with my sister-in-law. Those dinners always turned into her showtime, where she'd eagerly share tales of her latest achievements, favorite restaurants, or the attention she received on the streets. Although her husband also attended, he was just an ordinary guy, too kind for his good, which only emphasized her unpleasant personality. Once, when I brought homemade dishes, she criticized them as tasteless, ruining the atmosphere. While my husband and in-laws tried to console me, she stubbornly refused to say they were good. Feeling down because of her, she'd add salt to my wounds, saying, "Having such a gloomy atmosphere makes me uncomfortable." Her attacks were always directed at me, interfering with my life. Despite being a cause of my stress, I strived to maintain a harmonious relationship as a member of her family. One day, when I went out shopping after a long time, I bought quite a lot. But sometimes, it's okay, it helps relieve stress. Huh? Is that my sister-in-law? A couple was walking in front of me, and the man didn't seem to be her husband. What's going on? They're even holding hands. And kissing. Doing this in broad daylight. Looking at the two unmistakably like lovers, the word cheating flashed in my mind. Could it be that I stumbled upon my sister-in-law's secret? Feeling like a detective, I decided to follow her after her breakup, leaving her alone. Maybe it's better not to know. But since I've seen it, I can't help but be curious. She walks confidently without looking back, heading somewhere without hesitation. And she arrived at the house. Huh, no way. It was exactly what I suspected. Surely, she must have placed the watch she received from her boyfriend earlier on the counter. Wait, is this for real? She's selling it right away. But is this how she's earning money? Speaking of her boyfriend, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Well, forget it. My sister-in-law is supposed to be a housewife. I heard she receives living expenses from her husband, but she's increasing her own money like this. Lost in my thoughts, she comes out of the store while on the phone. Yeah, I got $2,000 when I sold it just now. I thought I could get more, but oh well. Haha. Anyway, I'll get it from another guy, so it's fine. Oh, and I'm going to the store again today. That's what this money is for. I feel like I've asked something I shouldn't have. Maybe it's better not to get involved further, so I left the scene. And I decided not to tell my husband, her brother, about this and observe a little longer. A small anomaly occurred in my quiet daily life. Where did it go? My hands kept opening and closing drawers repeatedly. The credit card that should have been there was gone, without any trace, even though I don't remember using it. Was it left in my wallet? Or was it my husband? To confirm, I decided to check the credit card usage history online. And there, I stumbled upon a surprising fact. Huh, this hotel. The name of a hotel behind the station appeared on the screen. Of course, I've never been there. Then, was it my husband? I doubted it, as he doesn't seem like the type. But besides my husband, the only other people who could enter this house would be my in-laws, who have a spare key. No way. But no, that can't be it. Though I thought that, the most likely possibility was nothing else. To confirm, I called my in-laws. After they checked, indeed, the spare key was missing. My mother-in-law sounded flustered, but I said, "Don't worry, I have an idea," before hanging up. It's probably my sister-in-law. I don't want to believe it, but she must have come into this room without permission and stolen the credit card. There's no other explanation. But how should I tell my husband? If she has the credit card, it's only a matter of time before she uses it again. I decided to keep the records as evidence and observe for a while. But why do bad things always seem to pile up like this? My mother, who had been battling illness for many years, passed away. I have few memories of my parents. However, I still remember fragments of my mother loving me single-handedly. Though her hospitalization was long, I cherish the memories of the happy days we spent together at times like this. As the only family member, I handled the funeral arrangements. It was a small family funeral, but it was still a busy time. Amidst all this, I received a notification on my phone confirming credit card usage. I had set it up to receive notifications every time the credit card was used, but I never expected it to happen on the day of the funeral. Since it was a small funeral, I had asked my sister-in-law and her husband to refrain from attending, but to receive such a notification on this day when they should be aware of the news was unexpected. Upon checking, it seemed like she had bought cosmetics at some airport. Wait, Honolulu Airport. Hawaii. And who was she with? I met my sister-in-law's husband just a few days ago, and she didn't mention anything about going on a trip. Could it be that she's keeping it a secret from her husband? When I contacted my sister-in-law's husband, as expected or rather, unsurprisingly, she had lied to her husband and was on a trip overseas with her affair partner. She had told her husband that she couldn't return home for a few days because her mother at her parents' house had fallen ill. How despicable can someone be to enjoy a cheating trip using someone else's credit card? Unable to overlook her outrageous behavior any longer, I decided to take action. Since it was certain that she was cheating, I waited for her to return home and started investigating. As I investigated, her true colors gradually became apparent. To my surprise, her affair partner wasn't just one person. There were 4 people simultaneously, and she was dating them on a rotational basis, like having daily lunch dates. This is truly despicable. I couldn't help but lament her actions. Every week, she received gifts from someone and then sold them at a pawn shop. The reason she needed money was to go to a bar. I don't know how much she's spending there, but she seems to be going to the bar almost every night. There's probably a bartender involved too. With daily dates and nightly bar visits, the evidence was quickly stacking up. And as I was contemplating when to act, I unexpectedly ran into someone in town. That was her boyfriend from back then. And he was my high school classmate. That's why I felt like I'd met him somewhere before. I invited him to a cafe and questioned him about his relationship with her. And he revealed the full extent of her misdeeds to me. He showed me the love messages she had sent him. They were part of her cunning plan.
She always talked about our future together. Plans to build a house, names for our children, dreams for our retirement.
He also gave me letters, photos, and tapes with the voice recordings that she had given him. They were overflowing with her words of love. However, it was all a lie.
She told me she needed money to support her family. That's why I gave it to her.
And he showed me a list of expensive gifts he had given her. They were supposed to be tokens of his love. However, she pawned them off and lived a luxurious life.
She told me our love was eternal. But it was all a lie, wasn't it?
Listening to him, I felt a surge of anger towards her. She was using his genuine love. He was deeply hurt. I made up my mind and called her. Do you know anything about my credit card? First, a simple question. Why are you asking me? You know I wouldn't know. Well, the expected reaction. I seem to have lost the spare key I left with mother-in-law. You have it, don't you, sister-in-law? I told you, I don't know. You don't have to lie. I know everything. What? What do you know? She seemed a bit flustered now, didn't she? You used my credit card for a trip, right? With someone other than your husband. She hesitates. So, she's thinking about how to respond, I imagine. How did you find out? Well, it doesn't matter. It's not cheating, it's just dating. Dating. Dating? Like romantically involved? No, not like that. It's just as friends. You wouldn't understand. Your little experience with men. I have many so that's how it is. I don't think this can be brushed off as just being friends. Then why haven't you told your husband? You even lied and went on a trip, right? Sister-in-law. Oh, the thing about my mother's health is true. The trip was decided on a whim, so it couldn't be helped. Here we go with that excuse. Whether it's true or not, no one can say. These types will always try to wriggle out of it, so presenting them with undeniable evidence might be effective. I see. But you are cheating, right? I saw everything. What did you see? You are walking arm in arm with a man. That was. Does the name Paul ring a bell? Why that name? He's my former classmate. I remembered his face, so I decided to ask him about it. She suddenly fell silent, realizing she was in trouble. Well, let's add insult to injury. You lied about being single and dated him, right? And you even took cash, saying your mother had a severe illness and needed treatment. Paul's father is the president of a company, and it was well known at school that he was wealthy. He had money and was smart, but for some reason, he wasn't good with women. It's too pitiful that his girlfriend turned out to be my sister-in-law. That's why I told him that she was married. And you were even talking about getting married, right? Isn't that marriage fraud? He's considering suing, you know? Suing. But I didn't. I never said I wanted money. But you did take money, saying you needed it, or your family was struggling financially, right? Well, yes, but. She began to panic. Has she finally realized the seriousness of the situation? Oh, and by the way, you were getting money from someone else too, weren't you? Huh? What? Why? Why I know is beside the point. Do you realize you might become a suspect in the embezzlement case? Embezzlement. Why would I? Oh my, you didn't know, did you? She is now beyond flustered and is panicking. People who were swindled by you have filed criminal complaints with the police, you know? The police wouldn't act on something like that. Oh no, they will if the total amount of fraud is significant. Just how much did you swindle? It's terrifying. Just from him, she took $3 million. For her to go to the bar every day, she must have received that amount from several people. The total amount of fraud is probably close to $100 million. But I don't have that money, so there's no evidence. Even without evidence, being sued is a certainty. And divorce is next. Divorce? Why would that happen? Oh, you think your husband doesn't know? He knows everything. What? No, wait. She must be turning pale and trembling by now. I just provided evidence of your affair to your husband, so you'll be heading home soon, won't you? Why would you say something like that? Imagining her face contorted with anger and anxiety, I continued. There are good and bad things you can do, whether with family or anyone else. I won't forgive you for stealing my credit card and using it without permission. Wait, I'll return it right away. Please, forgive me. even if she cries and apologizes, it's too late. I will never forgive you. You will repay every penny you used. After that, my sister-in-law divorced her husband, and our in-laws, upon learning the truth, declared disownment. Of course, with numerous complaints from men, she was finally arrested. Since the criminal trial resulted in an actual prison sentence without parole, she won't be out for a while. The money she spent lavishly with my credit card was reimbursed by her husband, who thanked me for providing evidence photos. Anyway, finally things around me have settled down. My husband was recently promoted, with a salary increase. And then, a little life came into our lives. When we shared this joyous news with our in-laws, they cried tears of joy. The growing belly becomes dear, and when I stroke it and talk, a response comes from inside. He he he, so cute. See? It responded. My husband leaned his ear against my belly, smiling, listening to that little world. We held hands, laughing together as we envisioned a future filled with hope and love. How was this story? Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Well then, let's meet again in the next video.